Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the introduction of the Global Goal. I am Cam, your host. We have Ira to the right of me, to the front of you.
How you doing, folks? How you doing, Cam?
We're great. We're great. Snaps all around the room. Uh, we would like to extend his contract out. We take him in on loan, but we're in talks about purchasing him and taking on his contract.
I feel like I put forth the work for that contract.
I actually disagree, but
Oh,
it's,
okay,
it's just
okay,
gonna look
okay.
it's gonna look good for the books. It's
Fair
gonna look
enough.
good for the
Okay,
book
okay.
because here it's all about the books. Like we really don't care about performance.
Uh,
We're gonna meet our number.
right, right, right.
We're gonna meet our number.
But you don't think that I provide quality here?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
You
yeah.
provide.
Okay.
Yeah, you
As long as we're
provide.
on the same page with
Yeah,
that. All right.
yeah.
Cool, cool,
Same
cool.
page as in Cristiano Ronaldo versus Lionel Messi.
Yeah, we're not on the same page with that. I don't think. Are we?
Um,
Because I feel like there's only one right answer, but that's up to you.
More spectacular season, Dembele or Mbappe?
Dembele.
Why and why not? Why
Uh,
or why not?
I feel like Mbappe wasn't as consistent as Dembele was. I feel like it took a while for them both to pick up, but I think that once Dembele picked up, he picked up and stayed consistently going upward.
Are you biased?
Why would you say that?
Mm, I'm just asking.
Are you asking me am I a Barcelona fan?
Oh no, I'm
Because that I seem like that seems
that's
like what
crazy.
you're. I mean,
It's crazy. Welcome to the global goal. No, so I was gonna say because I would say some would say Mbappe actually had a more consistent year than Uzman.
really
Yeah,
elaborate.
I'm glad you asked. Well, he was consistently mediocre.
Usman.
No, Mbappe. I'm joking. I was playing devil's advocate. I really couldn't give you a real reason.
Okay, I didn't think so, but
No, what I
and that's no disrespect to Mbappe. Wonderful player,
I
great,
know spectacular.
wonderful talent.
It's just some people have better stretches than others, and sometimes you can't help injury, hangups,
Mhm.
team setbacks.
True, true.
Dembele though, so would you feel that he's had a better pound for pound season, like in regard to his team success?
I was actually just about to mention that I feel like Dembele's season was highlighted because his team was also
Mm-hmm.
highlighted and the form that they were in, it's hard not to, play well.
Some would say Barcelona's level of play suits Dembele more than Real suits Mbappe's, and that's just the way it fell. Would you say that that's the product of that, or would you say that Dembele just had a more respectable season,
Um,
regardless?
well, I feel like that's not a fair comment because I feel like, of course, Dembele fits their style of play. He played there,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
of course he can fit their style of
and
play.
he has feet.
Um,
He has a touch.
I think that I think that Mbappe joined Real Madrid at a rough time, and expected a lot out of him. And I think that when he started the season slow with so much pressure on him, it's hard to come from out of such a slump.
Do you think we've been too hard on Mbappe?
Uh,
Because I don't know. It seems like you're going a little soft on him. Like,
no, I don't think you could say
do you think he's deserved his criticism?
yeah, because of the way he was at PSG, the form he was in there,
Mm-hmm.
to transfer to a club like Real Madrid, you're expected to perform.
Well, okay. Okay. Going into that, uh, I do want to get into some MLS some safe side stuff,
Mhm.
possible moves.
Yes.
But we do have Kevin De Bruyne who did make his announcement.
I was actually kind of excited for the thought of that. I thought that'd be interesting to see.
I think what he did was he left the door open. So now after he leaves whenever he decides to leave Serie A, he can be like, boom, MLS.
And
Okay.
I feel like once he hits that point in his career, it's going to be where now it's I just want to have fun. Let's go to the States and have fun. Let's just do what we want to do.
Yeah, because
Go score some goals. Let's go.
it's real hard to go from like states back. Like obviously, um, I guess I don't think that we've ever really seen somebody do, at an older stage, like because usually it's like it's the vacation spot. Like
So have you thought about that? Have you thought about, do you think Messi will return to a big team, or do you think he's just going to retire from Miami?
nah, I think they low key holding his ass like captive, and they're like, yo, stay here until we can get like two more like big ish stars, and then we'll let you go. They gave the nigga like half the team.
Do you think, of course,
I think Messi felt
Lionel,
like he could have retired.
I
I'm sorry.
think Lionel Messi is the greatest soccer player of all time.
Yeah.
Um,
And I think it's supposed to rain tomorrow. We all think things in life. I mean,
that is true. But do you think that he would be able to, after going from playing in the MLS and this style of play for so long, do you think that he would have an issue if he went back to, per se, a big team? Like if he returned back home
would he
to
have
Barcelona, do you think he would still be able to perform in that level?
he wouldn't want to do that though. Because you know, when you like that dude, it's kind of hard to just not be that dude somewhere else.
He's always been that dude.
You know what I'm saying? But like, you got to think the only way you could really allow him to go and be that dude respectively, because you know attrition is a thing. You know, atrophy. You know, muscles just don't fire as fast as they used to. Even if you think they do, I think like the only way he could really just be the dude to like just go to Serie A or something.
Because I don't,
Because if he went to like a league, if he went to any like upper like younger league, it wouldn't really allow him to be that dude because I feel like
that's what I'm saying. Do you think if
he wouldn't separate as much.
let's say if he went back to Barcelona, do you think they could plug him in and he would perform?
I don't think a top like club would take him because they wouldn't want to. They wouldn't, not like in a negative way. It's just they wouldn't want to. It wouldn't make sense for him. Like it's crazy. It's crazy on some real respect shit, but like that's how the business go. Like I don't think a top club would take Ronaldo. They wouldn't take Messi. One and two is because of money, and then two is like we really got to fit him. We don't want to disrespect. You don't want to just even if you paid 1 million for him, you're gonna have the press asking you every game when is Messi gonna play, when is Ronaldo gonna play. So he could go on some low key and go to Serie A, like what like I don't know where else he would want to go.
Do you think what about the Premier League? How do you think that would go?
I wouldn't be surprised if he went to the Saudi league, but they damn near hooping in the Saudi league. I'm not going.
But I'm saying, but the Premier League.
Oh, the Premier League. Oh no,
league.
it's slower. You can get away with being an older defender or maybe like an older like central midfielder in the Premier League and go there, but or like just hold it down. But I don't know, like being like a winger or just being like on the attacking side in the Premier League, you kind of need to be like Salah old low key.
But I feel like he could perform as a 10.
But you got to think where though.
In a Premier League, I think he could. I don't know where he would fit.
And it's almost even if you're not like a Barca team, even if you like a Chelsea, you still looking at it like it's kind of like a linear move. Like this Messi, but this ain't like '03, this ain't '09.
Right.
Like this 2025, and it's like you gotta be willing to. Any team that take on a person like him, even if they're good or not, you got to be willing to take on everything that come with it. And sometimes teams don't really want that spotlight.
Yeah, that's true.
Some teams don't want that spotlight.
That's fair.
Like you really got to be ready to get all your dirty laundry aired out. Getting a person like Messi is like getting the Olympics in your city because you heard all this stuff about people like
right.
Stuff. It's a con or it's pros too, but it's low key sometimes more cons than pros. But I think Messi could I think Messi might call it. He might try to get Modric. He might try to get Pogba. Shit, I could see it, and he just might retire.
Don't you think that would be such an odd combination of players, though?
Well, you know they just allowed where they can do cash for signings now in the MLS. Like they can, but two per season. Like they can do cash that they can just buy now.
Christian Pulisic is linked to the MLS. Really?
Yeah,
That would be interesting to see.
But the thing is,
I don't know why though.
they got to put the money where their mouth is because these dudes ain't pulling up unless you pour out a checkbook.
But why work so hard to get out of soccer in the States to come back?
Well, it's because they've been hearing that he said he would like to return home. But I think it's also like this. It's all about the moves you make and like the way you did it. I mean, where was he in the Premier League?
Chelsea.
Chelsea. See, shout out Christian, but I mean, I think he just know what it is. I feel like he looked at it like I can't go from Chelsea to
He's at AC Milan now.
to AC Milan. They hooping. But I don't. I mean, I guess you could say they are better off than Chelsea, but it's still
Agreed.
not necessarily
They
like
had a better season.
he kind of like took a step down from club though, if that makes sense. Like
I think
it would have been better if he could have like necessarily say had like a better year or two, stayed at Chelsea, maybe bounced around to another EPL club, and then said he's going to MLS. But I think he's looking at it like shit. Ain't nowhere else he would go, because unless he wants to speak another language like majority, I feel like he's looking at it like he can get a bag.
how do you think he performed when he was at Chelsea?
I think it was good, but not good enough.
Okay.
Like it just was always good, but not good enough. Or as soon as it was good enough, it was kind of like, it kind of would level out. But Chelsea really didn't know what they was doing. Up until damn near
I feel like they didn't really give him much of a chance to be good.
And that's the thing. Like I feel like he did what he was supposed to do, but
they didn't give him a chance to do anything else more than than that.
Like I feel like that whole Pogba, Christian, Conte. Damn, they had a little squad, but they just couldn't. They had a lot of money at a lot of places too, and they just decided to cut the fat on a lot of stuff.
Pogba.
No, I'm tripping. No, for real.
Who are you referring to?
Nah, for real. Who I'm thinking? Central midfielder, yeah.
Build.
Damn.
Country.
Big. Damn. No, lock in with me. I'm thinking okay, maybe center back. Center back, like, okay, 20, like 21.
Okay, give me
Damn.
more. Do you have looks in your head?
No, not Rudiger.
Yes, Rudiger played.
Rudiger.
Yes, Rudiger.
But I'm thinking it's another big black nigga. But damn.
Did he play alongside Rudiger?
Maybe so, because I can't think of anybody in the midfield that fit that description. Damn, I don't know why I'm thinking of Pogba. I'm gonna put a pin in that one though for sure.
You have me lost.
No, I'm thinking. You remember those kits where they went with like the ones with like 3 on them, like what, like 2 seasons ago, 3 seasons ago. It was somebody on that club. Moving forward. How do you feel about the Saudi League? Do you feel like the Saudi League is a linear? Like, do you think going from EPL, for example, going from EPL to the Saudi League or EPL to MLS, do you think those are linear moves, or which one you think are better, or do you think they're about the same?
I don't. I would have to say I haven't really watched a whole lot of the Saudi League. But I wouldn't say that would be a linear equal move. I would say that the MLS is, at this point, with some of the big names that they've picked up, I would say the MLS would be a higher quality of soccer than the Saudi League. Maybe. I mean, because I feel like not even including just the style of play, but also the atmosphere of it too.
Yeah, because playing in Saudi is like playing in a bubble, or it's like playing during COVID.
You have this very secluded crowd that's going to come to your game.
It feels like it's like travel ball.
Yeah.
Oof. Well, I have hope that it can still grow. I think as a spectator, I would love to see the MLS like separate themselves more, but I feel like more pressure needs to be applied. Like they need to kind of lose more people because, or like lose more perspective, like signings to like either the Saudi League or probably just the Saudi League. You know, those older, like kind of over the hill, like players that still kind of have something in the tank, but not necessarily competing at like, you know, for a top club.
Agreed.
But the people came for certain results, and we got to give them certain results. How do you feel about the UCL final? Like as a viewer, how did you feel, and what did you take away from that game when the game is over?
I think that.
As a Barca fan,
Now, why did you have to do that? Oh, excuse me. I think that PSG came out and played a absolute amazing game of soccer from from whistle to whistle, a full 90 minutes of absolute beautiful soccer. And I think that Inter Milan just did not come with the same intensity. I think that they also just kind of the youth of PSG was going to took over the game. Really, I think from Jump Street, you could tell that they were just at a much faster pace than Inter Milan was.
Yeah, and would you have expected that those results going in, or would you? What would like your prediction going into the game?
I expected it, but I also was hopeful for Inter Milan because I mean they were able to put Barcelona out. So I was hopeful that they could pull it off, but I think, like I said, PSG were just they were always a step ahead.
It's crazy because like it's like PSG was playing on like what?
It was like watching somebody play FIFA.
What's the difficulty? Oh, fuck.
Amateur.
It's like they're playing on amateur. Amateur, what? Professional?
Semi-pro.
Yeah, semi-pro and legendary.
Yeah.
Bro, and world class is somewhere in there.
World class is
Bro, amateur. It's like somebody turned the slider up or down, whatever.
Bad, man.
Because it didn't look respectable.
It was bad.
But kudos for the matchup because like I'm taking nothing away from the teams because it's like you had to make it there.
That's true. Inter Milan had a great run. Like I said, they were able to keep up and put Barcelona out in absolute two absolutely amazing games of soccer. Again, they were just both teams were just on it. Inter Milan, that's why I had hope. I had hope because they came out and did what they had to do against Barcelona, but they just fell completely flat.
Yeah. But the one thing about this whole UCL season is it gives me a lot of hope for the next season because a lot of teams are competing at a high level.
Oh yeah.
But it also left a lot to be desired. And it's a lot of youth. It's a lot of youth.
Yep. And then those teams are now going to go back to the drawing board, pick up transfers and all types of stuff.
Who would you say that's competing next year in the UCL's competition has the biggest spotlight on them?
Unfortunately, I'd have to say it would be my boys Barcelona. It would have to be, can you keep that same pace? Can you keep that same form? Same thing. Same thing with PSG. I mean, they're the champions, so obviously they're going to be expected to see, can you repeat? But I think that Barcelona is going to also have that same, can you go on that same amazing run again?
I think what's going to help PSG is
my bad.
No, it was just I had a thought.
Yeah.
What's going to save PSG is nobody expected them to win. So them winning was just kind of icing on the cake.
Yeah, I do think that they were a bit of an underdog.
And it's not, and I hate to like frame it like they were bad or like they were a poor team.
Yeah.
It's just, out of the playing field at the beginning to like nobody really expected it to happen.
Yeah,
like this.
early on.
Yeah.
But then once they picked up and they got into form, it was like, okay, they may actually be competing for this.
So they're definitely playing, I guess, like Full House or what? Like they're good. Like they can they can lose early next year. Nobody is really worried. But I think you're right. I think definitely the La Liga people are going to definitely just be looking at the whole La Liga league.
Yeah,
next year just because.
Well, I would also say there would be a spotlight on Real Madrid too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's why, because you're going to have to just. I feel like people are going to be watching a lot of those games because every game is going to be important because you're going to have a new coach at Real and you're going to have a very high pressure in Barca. I don't think it's high demand because I think the organization is like they've been there before, like
right.
The organization will be fine. They'll just have to like maintain their players' composure and just to be able to go through a season because all the ups and downs, injuries,
correct,
comes and goings of players. But Real, I think, is going to be more probably scrutinized than Barca because it's just such a bigger payroll.
Yeah, can you bounce back with those after having the season that you had? Can you now correct it and find the correct puzzle pieces to get back to where you were as a team?
And like what hardware do they plan on lifting? Because they're not a club that kind of plays for like top finishes. Like they play for the actual trophy. So I kind of wonder like what plans do they have, or do they just plan on taking it easy next season? Like because Mbappe's not going to get the Ballon d'Or. So
yeah, correct. I mean, okay, actually, thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think? And I'm gonna put you on the spot.
I'd say Yamal, just because there really just hasn't been nobody like competing at that tier consistently. Consistently, everybody has had patches, but not consistently.
All season long, he's been just in stride, and you can almost say, well, I would say, yeah, it's probably one of the biggest breakout seasons we have seen in a very long time. He has gone from
and consistent to like beginning to end. Like
he has kept up his pace the whole entire time. In all his different competitions, Euros, Champions League, La Liga,
I think,
and now even the UEFA Nations.
He's safe. Dembele's safe. PSG safe. Like these are all categories, or these are all like topics. I'm just gonna put in like a safe man for next year. They're safe. Alonso, he's safe because even if they have a bad season, he good. I promise you, he cool.
Real Madrid.
Yeah.
I don't think he has that much pressure on him going into that.
Solid, he's safe. He had such a good season this year. He can just be ass next year.
I was surprised it took them as long as it did to offer him a contract. After the season that he had, that was insane.
It's because it's they don't want to pay him.
But I don't understand why. After he gave you the results that he gave you, and he saved your team so many times, why would you not want to?
That's the business.
That's disrespectful. If I were him, I would have wanted to leave. I would have left.
But see, it sucks for a person like him because somebody in his shoes, they're always gonna undervalue him, or they always gonna come to you when it's time to negotiate.
I'm not gonna beg you to see my worth.
When it's time to negotiate, they're gonna be like, hey man, money tight, you know what I'm saying? We've been with you for a while, you're gonna give us
somebody's gonna offer that man the bag.
But ain't nothing like playing at a club
that's true.
And what they're gonna get you with? Oh, well, we're a storied franchise, and
that's just true. I mean, at the same time though,
I can leave some bullshit.
Yeah.
Hey, look,
if you had the breakout with like he had going from, I believe, Chelsea to Liverpool, and you become a big name and a legend at such a big name club like Liverpool, I guess I could see it would be hard to leave that.
It is hard
because Why would you not want to be in what's their stadium name? Anfield.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
to be in Anfield and see your name plastered all over the stands.
And they're gonna play into that. And I'm pretty sure when they negotiated, it was like, well, man, they love you here, man. They hate to see you leave.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
look, man, I know your
Yeah.
kids. You don't want. You know what I'm
Your
saying?
legacy.
Yeah,
You know they pull
they
that
gonna
word out. You know they pull that word
yeah.
out. You got a
They might be like,
legacy.
oh yeah, we see your kid, we might recruit him. You know, like, and times they do, but like I think for him too, he was put in the shoes of a lot of athletes,
Mhm.
wanting like, deserved a bigger contract, been with the club for a long time. But when you get to negotiations, it's just a little, you know, the numbers get a little smaller after you had like a great season. And you see how they really feel about you.
Right, right, right.
And I think he didn't want to be new, uh, being an older guy on
Mhm.
on a team. Because he could get more somewhere else. You can always get more somewhere else.
Of course.
I don't know.
But he also has a good team around him as well.
Yeah, it's like
So,
you ain't gonna find another Van Dyke on your team.
for sure. That's actually that's who I was just thinking about was
Yeah, it like Van Dyke, for example, but Van Dyke really doesn't command as high of a wage as Salah does. But I know that they didn't had that conversation with him. They're probably like, man,
but they're definitely gonna make sure they pay that man.
yeah.
They're gonna pay Van Dyke absolutely
Well, but
100%.
it's a lot easier to pay a center a good to well performing center back or a defender than it is to like play like a winger because like
That's true.
they might need a little bit more cash. And
That's
you
definitely
way
true.
more reluctant. Like a good defender, I'm gonna get it to you because as long as you were healthy, I'm gonna get it to you. I'm gonna get it to you.
Right.
A winger, I'm kind of like you had a bad hamstring for
I
like
was about to say
last year.
you're not that.
Yeah, it's like you gave me 20 goals,
You got some wear and tear on you now.
but it's like because your feet are so important. It's like I can kind of work with an older defender. It won't really bite me
Right.
as bad if he kind of like sputters out on me on the tail end. But it's like if you sputter out on the tail end of like a winger or like an attacker, somebody that's really on their feet for real, like really moving, it looked bad. Like, and they're not gonna let you live that
Because
contract now.
that position is you're the goal scorer.
Yeah,
You're gonna be the one that's gonna take this. We need to win. You need to score.
yeah. And if you're not available, like you can be as good as you would like. You can score hell nine goals a game, but if you're only playing four games a year, it don't matter. Like,
Can I have a hot take here. So a player that I think is one of those attacking players that is starting to sputter out that I think needs to maybe retire is even though he's in a lower level league, I think that Luis Suarez should. It looks painful when he plays.
yeah. Well,
And I've heard reports say that he says that it's very painful for him to play. He has to take a lot of pain pills to be able to play. I'm sorry. I'm not saying that the man is addicted to.
No, it's well, and this is all alleged. It's
Alleged, yeah, allegedly.
well, it's no secret that as you get older, some injuries don't heal as fast. Or
Correct.
games still have to be played because
Right.
money has to be made.
Yeah, it is true.
So things get figured out. People pop up on the field. The game be over. Niggas be hurting real bad. And then, but hey, guess what? I got a game in 2 days. Guess what we're gonna do again? So, but yeah, it sucks to be in a position like that. But at the same time, if you want to get paid,
Gotta do what you gotta do.
you gotta do what you got because
That's
you
true. That
can't
is
just
true.
not hoop. That's why Neymar.
That is true.
Neymar is with one leg damn near. He said as long as there is a bag, why would I not?
Yeah.
I get it because he know when he's sitting down, he gonna be fucked. But
Mhm.
well, he gonna be all right. But he ain't gonna probably play football again.
Oh yeah.
Like just because like his lower extremities are just so like cooked, really.
Brittle, tore up.
And if you don't take care of yourself on a supreme level and you play as much as he has, like miles wise,
yeah, he's got some wear and tear on
yeah,
him,
like
for sure.
it comes to get you in one form or another. So, but yeah, like somebody like him, kudos to even playing because shit, you better get your bag.
Who we Neymar or Suarez?
As far as
Okay.
Neymar just world touring this shit for real.
Speaking of Neymar, how about PSG's replacement for him, Due?
Do you think I wouldn't say replacement. Like he was a good fill in. He's smooth. But
I think he was phenomenal.
How do you
in the
feel
final.
about that squad though? Like
the PSG squad?
that Neymar, Mbappe, Messi squad.
Um,
You felt like it was underperforming?
yeah, I think they did what they had to do in League One, but I think outside of that,
Man, that squad was giving Brooklyn Nets, if you know what I'm saying.
out.
No, you remember Kyrie, KD, and James Harden?
Mm-hmm.
Niggas was like they gonna score 195,000 a game, and then you couldn't even get them on the court at the same time. But I mean, but most like high performing like feet or like dripping type positions, you're gonna have to play a lot.
Yeah.
But a lot of time they be having to take games off. So
Do you think they should have taken him out? I think they should have let him get his hat trick after the performance he was having. A young kid having a big breakout game.
you don't want to do too much.
Why not?
Yeah, you
Why not?
Nah, because you want to do too much. I understand.
Break history.
Nah, you don't want to
break history.
Nah, because what they want to do is they want him to score the little 2, right? They wanted to give him the lob. Are you feel me? Track. They wanted to give him the lob, 2 goals, pull him out. We gone. Because if we give you 3, now everybody be looking at you. How much you want for him? How much you want for him? No, chill.
Yeah.
If he score a little 2, niggas gonna be like, the people on the outside gonna be looking like, oh, okay, he cool. But if he scored 3, everybody looking, what the fuck is this? and see, now people looking like, well, what y'all got going, PSG? See, if he scored 3, this is how crazy the butterfly effect works. If he scored 3, now they got to win again next year. Because now they got a wonder kid. Now they got
That's true.
Now they got the next phenom. Because you know how much people take stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I understand.
But I think the kid's still gonna do phenomenal, and I hope that he doesn't. I don't know if he has. I don't know if he's renewed his contract or not, but I hope he does not.
Going nowhere.
I hope he doesn't leave. I think he should stay there. I think if that squad stays together next season, I think they're going to come back in a really good form. They have a really good squad. After watching them in that final, Vitinha, their whole midfield is just their team
hitting on all cylinders.
Hakimi, Mendes, their Marquinhos, their team is
crazy. Marquinhos is still hooping,
and he is, man, is he solid. That man,
like I have
to be his age, you literally can't. There's nothing to
respectable dude.
And the crazy thing is he's been consistently doing that. He's been in a LeBron-esque, like, since he came in the scene to now, has been just an outright great defender.
But but it's the reason is because it's like when he hoop, it's really like he's playing, like he's kind of matching his comp. Like he's really not playing as hard as he has to, if that makes sense.
Because he's smart.
Yeah. And when you smart and you realize, I don't know, when you realize you can do what it takes somebody else 5 steps, you can do it in 1 or 2. And you can just kind of eat off that, because that's
make it look easy.
You can eat off that, like
that's what Van Dijk does. That's why Van Dijk is such a great defender.
I was trying my best not to but those are 2 very linear, like very respectable comps, because
yes,
they show it. But I think they just know what it is.
Who would be your third pick?
My third pick, over 30. Or what, like?
Yeah, we can go with older.
It's Diaz. No, I think Diaz is like 29. He moves like he's 30. I'm gonna throw Diaz up there because he damn near
Ruben Diaz.
Yeah, hell yeah. I'm
tossing Ruben Diaz up there.
I mean, because Rudiger's still damn near play like he 19 still. He played reckless though.
But I was about to say, but he's not that smart.
Nah,
he makes his job difficult sometimes.
Rudiger like Draymond.
Very fair comparison.
Because it's like, because I'll tell you this, people like that, you can say what you want about them, and you do know the facts about them, but it's like, it's hard to replace them though. Like, it's hard to find another crash.
I mean, that's what he's there for.
Yeah. He's literally crash out.
He is the team crash. That's what he's there for.
If you get in the red, it's going to go to Rudiger.
It's like, we know you can defend, but we know you're going to do some crazy stuff.
You're really just scaring the shit out of people. Because I'm knowing when people see your big ass,
they don't want to run at you.
They just be like, oh shit. They let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. Yeah, Rudiger, I wish Conte would go back EPL.
I wish he would have never left. I don't understand why he did.
Chelsea pissed him off.
Well, I mean, they stopped playing. They stopped playing him, and he was in good form, and they just stopped playing him.
Well, because they started prioritizing younger players, and I think he was looking at it like fuck y'all. Like
Yeah.
it's like I can go get a bag. Well,
But
fuck
and
it.
he's such a nice guy too. Actually, outside of football,
He is. What manager do you think has the most pressure on him next season, just all around?
mm, that's tough. Me personally, I have some expectations from Mr. Pep Guardiola for the next season that we need to be coming. City needs to come back in a better form.
You know what's funny?
I think
Pep's
that
so
they
smooth.
need to do a revamp of something, playing style,
This how the politics work.
personnel, something.
Pep's so smooth with it. He ain't got pressure on him. They put more pressure on City than him. Now, if you ask me, I would put pressure on Pep. I would put more pressure on Pep than City. But like the average person is gonna put more pressure on City
Yeah,
than Pep. Even though,
because
but I'm gonna tell you why though, and I understand. Mostly because they seen like the comings and goings of just recent signings or like just acquisitions as a whole, and they understand that it's kind of a lot to have to like juggle it. And I think they've seen that he's had a consistent success with it. He hasn't had like, an improved success, but it's like consistent success. Like for him to even have success with the parts that he's had,
yeah,
I feel like a lot of people, that's what they separate the grace and it's kind of like, oh, it's on City. But it's been some moments where it's like he could have switched it up the little vibes, but
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? But sometimes I do understand when you in them big organizations, sometimes those decisions are made for you really, and you don't get to speak about them.
I also think he's kind of already earned his stripes.
Yeah. But
But at the same time, since you have your stripes, we kind of
you're right. Because he hooping like Messi. Nah, hold up. Not yet.
because he's been a great coach for so long.
This is really like a chill move for him. Like, no matter how City does from like this offseason forward,
He's
they
still
really not gonna
good.
think he was a failure.
Yeah,
They're gonna be like,
absolutely.
oh, it was smooth.
Absolutely. I don't think that he's ever
Right.
his name is never going to look
You're right.
bad
And it's crazy because that's playing more into. They're really gonna say it's more of a City's fault because
because he's
of
already
that.
yeah.
And that's gonna be the thing that sucks for City. I
We
think.
know he's a great coach, but can y'all perform under a great coach?
Mhm. Well, is it just him?
So maybe the highlight isn't on Pep.
Damn.
Maybe the highlight really is just on City.
You said something.
So maybe I recant my last statement that Pep, I have some pressure.
Nah, you really went there.
We just really broke that down.
Because the question is, who is Man City's next coach? What do you think before we close it out?
Whoever takes that job has some, I think, would have some big shoes to fill. Let's say now.
Who would want to?
What do you have for us closing out?
Mm.
Let's say that Pep decides out of nowhere, I'm going to retire. This is my last season. How much do you think there's going to be pressure on that next coach to take that team and outperform? Or do you think the pressure is still going to be on City?
I'm going to hit you with this. I think how Pep leaves is going to determine City's success, like going forward after that, like their temporary success. So like they're like 1 to 3 seasons is going to be dependent on how you leave. So if he leave gracefully, they'll have a decent little post like campaign. But if it's like bad blood and he leaves in like a certain type of way, it's a few players that it's just they're gonna go ahead and yeah.
That's
Like
fair.
like contractually obligated or not, they're gonna be like, yeah, like they're gonna be like, I came for Pep.
Yeah,
like
that's fair.
And I'm not gonna name players, but there's certain players that you're gonna look and be like, they won't be there.
I can agree with. I have one in my head actually.
Now, but if they were to say Pep, work with us, you know what I'm saying? We trying to get a replacement, just, you know what I'm saying? But if they do some shit like if they say something like fire, we part way, nah,
Yeah, that's
that's
true.
not gonna go well with them. Like
Yeah.
the play, because they like him, they play for him for
Yeah, yeah.
Because I mean, City, you know, they got the bread, but they've never been known to just necessarily love their players like that. They just known to pay their players. Like so, what usually keeps your players is even the management, coaching. You know, so I think I don't know, man, because I don't know who could fill his shoes or who would want to be under that
Do
spotlight.
you think that anybody would want that?
I wouldn't be surprised if it was just somebody from EPL.
Really? You think somebody from the Premier League would want that spot?
Either that or a former EPL coach, because I mean, most of the coaches that came from the air, like from the past 15, 20 years, they're pretty much putting it up, or they're really wanting to kind of go for a slower pace or go more.
Right. Yeah, true.
And that's a lot. That's a lot. I mean, that's Pep handling it. It's a big microscope. It's like a real type of, because people want you to produce.
Right. True.
Whether like your number 9 is healthy, like they don't give a fuck.
Do you think maybe they go for like a
They gonna play it safe.
like a up and coming ex player turn coach again? Like kind of how Madrid went after Xabi Alonso.
I think they gonna try, but just knowing like how the coaches are spread out now, I don't know. But it's a big game. It's a big world, so they can find somebody.
You know who could step into that? Who used to be an ex player who has been having success with his team? Vincent Company.
Mm. They'll do that. They'll do that because it's safe.
That'd be interesting.
Because that's one of them. Like, if it don't work out, you can look at the fans like that's what y'all told us to do, and y'all can get off of them and get who y'all really want.
Do you think that he would have pressure?
No, because Pep just left. It's like Barca after Messi left. It's like, well, it ain't like Man U after Ronaldo. I don't know what the fuck they did. It's like after somebody great leave, you get that little grace.
You still have some respect.
Well, they give you
for
some
a little bit after
they understand. It's like, bruh.
Yeah, you gonna have to recover.
Yeah, like you can only now you got the people that's oh well, but like the majority gonna be like, no, you could like you take like
that's true.
Not too long.
Yeah,
but
we'll give you some time.
Now I say this like. What sucks is when niggas go like 500 every year because you don't know what's what. They ain't really ass. They're not really good. That's what happens when you end up keeping people a season too long. But I feel like the way the EPL is laid out with the club he has, he should finish top 5. So that's good enough. That's good.
True.
Like I feel like they're gonna look at like that's good enough because I mean you can't go grab Ancelotti off the shelf. I mean, like,
and then you just go for it next season, and let's see what happens.
Like because they got to get continuity in their locker room before they even really try to expect crazy shit from a manager,
right?
Or decide the direction. Haaland need to get some more love. Guys, we do appreciate you for joining us on the Global Goal.
Yes, we do. Thank you, guys.
Fastest growing, highest growing football podcast out. We are available everywhere. What do you have for us?
Tune in Sunday, UEFA Nations final.
Yes.
Portugal.
Go get that.
Against Spain.
Pull it up on your phone, your tablet, your computer, your TV with Wi-Fi. It's gonna be good football. I'm gonna be watching it. So I
am definitely gonna be watching it.
I'd like for you to join us spiritually. We might even I might even just be live watching it. I don't know. Like I'm gonna be watching it though. So I think that's all for us. Remember, if the global goal isn't global, then
get global.
Get global.